This video is brought to you by Raycon. Have you ever heard of Raycon everyday earbuds? That's right, they are incredibly sleek and low profile. They're so comfortable, I can wear them all day and they never fall out. Thanks to the assortment of silicone tips they come with, they're sure to provide a comfy fit for almost anyone. And how about that sound quality, huh? How did you escape the great mending? Why are you still in this universe? Exactly! They sound terrific, and they pack a surprising amount of bass into one package. One of the best things about the everyday earbuds is that they last up to 8 hours on a charge, and up to 32 hours using the cool little charging case. I can wear them for days without even thinking about charging them. And weren't you just saying that you can get even longer when you only wear one at a time? And don't you love how you can take calls at the touch of a button? The everyday earbuds have garnered over 50,000 five-star reviews. What universe are you from? They're half the price of other premium wireless earbuds. Are you a nice alternate Arlo? And you can hit the link in the description below or head to buyraycon.com/Arlo to get 15% off your order. Or a scary Twilight Zone alternate Arlo. Guess we'll have to wait 2 months to find out. Sandwo? Hello, my suddenly yet legally violent friends. Arlo here, and this is my review impressions of Mario Strikers Battle League. I'm not super duper into sports games, so this isn't a full scripted review, but I did want to try the game out and just feel it out, see what I like about it, and give you my impressions. So here they are. So I've never really played a soccer/football game before. I did play Mario Tennis Aces, and I played Mario Golf Super Rush, and I liked the gameplay enough, so that's one reason I wanted to try this out. You know, the Mario sports games, I've never been super into them, but like, they're a lot of fun. But the main reason I wanted to try this out is just all the stuff I've heard about the previous games, mostly just the attitude, you know, the aesthetic, the visual style, and just how all of the Mario characters were able to just, I don't know, it's just a different side of their personalities, a little bit more raw, and I'm all about that, you know. I felt that that's a big problem with a lot of Mario sports games, is like, they're not allowed to have personality, and it's weird. It's that weird Nintendo thing where some Mario products have to be super duper basic and stripped away of all personality that's not like in the base, the core of Mario, which is silly. I don't know why this gets to have personality just because the other Strikers games had personality. You know, they could all have personality. You could have like a special style for any kind of sport. I don't know. But yeah, that's why I wanted to try this out, and it does not disappoint in that department. I mean, I didn't play the old game, so for all I know, it misses a mark, but where I'm standing, it looks terrific. When the game is running, you know, normally, you're playing normally, everything looks really nice, everything is nice and smooth. I absolutely love the whole thing where you choose what theme your side of the whatchamacallit, the place where you play the game, field, whatever is. Can you tell I'm not into sports? Yeah, you know, it's just like, oh, Spooky Castle, Bowser's Castle, regular jungle. Like, I love that, and they kind of join together. In fact, the entire sci-fi aesthetic is really, really cool. Everything is portals, you know, your little helper person is a robot. The entire thing just has this futuristic, cool kind of sheen to it. And it's just terrific. I love it. All the cutscenes are super good. Slightly nitpicky, sort of aside, it's annoying that they're like, oh, there's like a galactic strikers federation or whatever, and that's why it's all, you're out in space, and it's all portals, and it's just this galactic federation of people who play this sport. Why are we only playing as Mario characters? I feel like we should be able to play against, like, other weird aliens or so. It's just weird that you introduced that idea, but it's like, why is it still just us? Why are we the only ones here? Who else is in this league or whatever? Anyway, like I said, just a little thing. Definitely a standout as far as presentation goes. It's just like any kind of special move. Basically any cutscene, any special move, or like little victory things, or pretty much anything like that. I love it whenever it takes that really cool, cel-shaded, spiky kind of style, you know, whenever they're doing a special shot or anything. They look really terrific. These are all pre-rendered, so you don't get... The transition is a little bit strange because it doesn't really matter where you are, what things look like. It kind of like triggers this, what I believe to be a pre-rendered kind of thing. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Even if it's not pre-rendered, it's kind of like they always look exactly the same, so they're not really integrated super well into like what was going on. But at the same time, maybe even because of this, they look so good. They're just incredibly, incredibly sharp and perfectly animated. They all look super cool. It's great seeing all these characters with the fire in their eyes and just, it's that attitude, you know? They're running around, smacking each other, kicking each other in the face, knocking them into the electricity. Like, it's kind of like the, I don't know, the kid gloves, the Nintendo family-friendly thing. It's kind of, it's eased up a little bit. None of this is gruesome by any stretch, but like they are really just walloping each other, just punching and kicking and just really trying to hurt each other. And it's a lot of fun. And then of course, like the different characters have their own special moves, which have all of these wonderful little nods to the previous games. Like it's one of those things where it's so easy to see that this is just like a fan thing, you know? I feel like you get that when you when they work with studios that aren't quite in-house, you know? Nintendo makes their own stuff and it kind of has its own kind of thing. But then, you know, Next Level Games, they're fans of Mario. You know, they don't work at Nintendo. Now they're owned by Nintendo, but they're made up of a bunch of people that just love Mario. So they naturally want to bring in all of these references. And I just think that's great. It makes for a really great experience if you are also a fan of these characters. So let's get to the gameplay. This is a really interesting game. I feel like there's a lot of depth. Like a lot of depth. Like it feels very similar to Mario Tennis, where just like, there's just so many little things. And you know, like the basic gameplay is easy enough to pick up, but there's all, I mean, it feels like even more than that. I don't know, more than any Mario sports game I've played. There's just like, there's so much to take in. And the basics of running around and passing and shooting is one thing, but then like you're going through the tutorial and it's just thing after thing after thing, but you can also do this and also do that and also do that, and it's a lot to take in. It really is, but I can really appreciate just the technical depth of it all. Like you start playing, I start going down that tutorial list, and right away, I'm just like, people are gonna go nuts for this. Like, some people are gonna get super into it, and I can only imagine how, like, multiple really skilled players playing against each other, how that's gonna look, because there's so much going on, and all the different characters have different stats, and you've got strength and speed and shooting and technical, and just there's just a lot to keep track of, but that means a lot to exploit. And like at all times, you're trying to get the ball in the goal. You have to do shots and aim them in a way that will get in the goal. You're having to keep track of where your teammates are, where the other, you know, where the opponents are. And even like while you're passing between them, are you using this, you know, you can pass this way, or you can lob it, or you can do a special thing where you do an extra special pass between them if you hit the button at the right time, or you pass and do a shoot. It's so much. And that makes it seem like a really good, like, I don't know about esports. I don't know if it'd be big enough to call esports, but at least just competitively, it's great. It's incredibly, incredibly deep. I do not like to play it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this game. It is really, really admirable. I can see that this is a game they have crafted, just fine-tuned to such the tiniest degree, and the balancing and just how all the mechanics and how they work together, they've put so much into it. And that's so cool. And that's great, especially with the presentation and the attitude. It's an amazing, awesome package. It's not for me. It is just not for me. You know, I started playing it and okay, it's all right, but I pushed through as far as I could, and it's not my kind of thing. It's one of those things where like I'm not good at it, like just for starters. Like I said, I've never played a soccer/football game. So like I'm already just not the best person to be playing this. But like, you know, I did tennis and I did golf, and I guess it's because I'm only controlling one person, so I get to focus on just that moveset, what I'm doing. But when you split it up across multiple teammates, my brain can't. It just can't. It doesn't work. And I guess it's just how much different stuff I have to keep in mind. So many opponents, you know, like, and so many things to do, whether you're interacting with the ball or, oh yeah, I didn't even mention like punching and kicking and stuff. Even that has got multiple different ways to do it, and stamina and all that stuff. It's just too much for me to handle. And I know I could get better eventually, but it's one of those things where like you're trying to get good at a thing and you're like, I know I could, but I'm not enjoying it enough to want to. It's just not my kind of thing. It's not a kind of game that I want to put hours into. Even if I do get better, I imagine it's just not my thing. And I might be more inclined to just get good enough at it to kind of play on my own if there was anything to do. But there isn't. There's nothing to do in this game other than just play matches, whether against people or CPUs, and that's disappointing. It really is. You know, like, I was disappointed in Mario Tennis Aces because it did have single player, but it was so short. That was already disappointing. And then like Mario Golf, I thought that was better. Still not perfect. This has none. It's just none. It's not in the slightest. And I know like it's a competitive game. It's a multiplayer game at its core, and that's okay. And I get that like it doesn't necessarily need a lot of stuff for one player to do. I sort of understand that. Because the real gameplay is just people playing against each other and against CPUs or whatever. Sure. But like, I don't know. You don't always want to play with other people. Sometimes, even if it is just playing against CPUs, you need more to do. You need more cups or tournaments or just something, you know? I mean, there's some, like, you can earn coins to, like, buy extra equipment for your characters, which is amazing. You can customize them and tweak their stats and all that. Really awesome. So it's like kind of a thing to do and kind of work towards. But for the most part, no. It doesn't even pretend to have a story mode, which is disappointing because with all the sci-fi stuff and the galactic whatever, like, I feel like they could have done something pretty cool. But there's nothing. And like, yeah, there are lots of games out there that are like primarily multiplayer. They're not usually full price though, you know? Sometimes they're cheap or like free. And I know it's not exactly a direct comparison because the free ones will often have, you know, scummy microtransactions and stuff. It's cool that this is a package you buy and you have it and like, that's it. But it's like, I don't know, other single play. I shouldn't go too deep into it because it could really have its own video, couldn't it? But it's just like, I don't know. I can buy another Nintendo game for $60 and it has the really tight mechanics and the really good gameplay and a game. And a game, or like Splatoon, you know? Not the biggest single player in the world, but it's got a single player, it's got a hub, it's got these social features. There's stuff to do. Why not this one? It's just like, no, do you like playing the game? Okay, play with people, that's it. Like, that's just it. And I personally think that's inexcusable. Well, I guess I shouldn't use the word inexcusable. I clearly did excuse it because I bought the game, but it's to review it. You get what I'm saying. So that's, you know, it's disappointing. And then, like, this is a thing I'm gonna let people who are more into all this talk more about it, but like, online, I've not experienced this because I could not get good enough at the game to actually play online with other people. I'm not gonna join a league just to bring them down, you know, like, I gotta do that. By the way, it's cool that the whole league thing, how you can join and create leagues with your friends. Cool. Very, very, very fun. Just turning, like, the multiplayer experience just into, I don't know, something you team up with your folks and you maybe even make friends online or something. And, you know, there's, like, seasons and I don't know too much about it, but I think that is a very, very cool idea. Thing is, though, there's no actual 4 versus 4, like, online. You like, 8 switches can't connect together, at least right now. So, like, if you actually want 8 people playing together, they all have to be buddied up on 4 switches. And that's absurd. That is inexcusable. It's absurd. What is that? What is that? Splatoon? Hop on. 8 people, all different systems, or like, you know, any other multiplayer game in the entire world, you know? Like, does anyone tell Nintendo that like you could play like Fortnite and like 100 people can play together on not only separate devices, but different kinds of devices across different... We can't even play 4 versus 4. You just can't do that. You can't, like, what's even the point? You can make these leagues, like, okay, so what if you get you 4 friends in a league? You and 3 friends? You can't just be going and facing other teams of 4. It's not a thing you can do. I got nothing. I got no words. Maybe they'll patch it later, so I shouldn't talk about it too much, but it's that thing. Again, I could make a whole video about this. Of just, like, why do you make purely multiplayer games? And you say, like, oh, it's all about the multiplayer. We're not even gonna make single player content. It's all about the multiplayer. Okay, then let us do it. Let us have this really cool multiplayer experience. Well, nah, we don't want you to. We don't want it to be too good. Like, if you're gonna make it all multiplayer, it better be a really good multiplayer experience. If I'm paying $60 for this, it should be a robust, awesome multiplayer experience. And this is not. We'll see how the future goes. We'll see if they update it or whatever, but at the moment, that's real silly. So that is basically that. That's Mario Strikers Battle League. Really ridiculous online limitations. Just tired, growing weary of saying words like that when it comes to like Nintendo multiplayer games. Just tired, just weary. Yeah, limited multiplayer, really annoying, no content at all, basically none, a little cup or something. This is basically none. And it's not for me, doesn't click with me, does not mesh with me. It's just not a game I see myself being able to get into. However, at the very least, at the core, it seems awesome. It seems really, really, really awesome. And I will be really sad if Nintendo bungles this game so badly that it doesn't really do anything in the competitive space, because I think it has so much potential. It's that perfect Nintendo thing where it is deep without being overly complex. There's just a lot going on. Love the attitude, love the presentation. It's a really cool game, and I'm sure that people who are happy just like playing with friends or just really, really, really into this series, like, yeah, you're gonna have a heck of a time. I already see people, you know, expressing disappointment, sure, but like having a heck of a time. Like, I bet they are. And that's really, really cool. Well, thank you for watching. Please go down to the comments and let me know what you think about Mario Strikers Battle League. Do you think it's low on content? Does it not matter as long as the gameplay is fun? Do the online limitations that kind of ruin things for you? Or it's great and you're just having fun? What kind of DLC you think they're gonna do? Just talk up a storm down there in this if you want to. I don't know, who cares? You have a good day. I love you. Goodbye.